today's video, this is going to be my filming foundation contour highlight routine, because I've noticed that I do it a little bit different now than about a month ago when I started. I restarted this channel. That was more of like my everyday situation. I've gotten a little bit more into highlighting and contouring now. So this video is going to show you what I do, because I'm sure you guys have noticed in my past couple videos that I have really nice lines, really great highlights, and really nice contours. And it's all because of how I do it. So if you guys want to see how I get my face to look like this, and you guys will have seen it from this tutorial, which is from New Year's Eve, then go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so the first step is I use a primer. You can use any primer. I just use this e.l.f. one, or I use the Monistat chafing gel. And I start with under my eyes because I tend to get a lot of creasing. The primer doesn't do a whole lot about that, but you know, I just kind of have to realize that I'm getting older and I have to live with it. Make sure you get in the crack of your nose and the crack of your mouth. So I always start my primer on my cheeks and under eye area, and then from there I go out. Because the rest of my face I don't have so many issues with, but on my cheeks and stuff is where I have big pores and creasing and whatnot. So I want to make sure that's the first thing I cover. And then I bring it down to my chin and to the edge of my neck. Okay. Next. Now, because I don't currently have a foundation that matches me, I use two foundations and mix them together. I take the Avon Extra Lasting Liquid Foundation in medium beige, and I take my e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation in sand, and I mix them together. So take about 3.5 of the Avon foundation, and then like 2.5 of sand. And then what I do is I mix it together on the back of my hand first to make sure that it's evenly mixed. And then I apply it to my face. And another reason I mix the e.l.f. one in is because when it comes to blending it into my neck, it helps the transition a little bit better, because I just use the e.l.f. one on my neck. I don't use the other one. I don't use the Avon one. And then I just kind of do finger marks all over my face using all the foundation that was on the back of my hand. And then I take a makeup wipe or a baby wipe. I use the Pampers Sensitive Wipes. As makeup wipes, because every makeup wipe I get burns my eyes. So, and then I just take, if you guys haven't seen the video on these brushes, they're the eBay cheap ones. They're like the Sigma ones. And I just start buffing it in up towards my eyes. I kind of like pat it in because I want to get really good coverage under my eyes. I put it on my eyelids because I do have like freckles and, you know, some type of pigmentation on there, and it covers it. Make sure you get it in your hairline. I go along my jawline and underneath my neck and blend it out, or like underneath my chin, like right here, and blend. And I make sure it's completely blended out. Now, this Avon foundation is kind of orange, because I think I actually grabbed the wrong one. This is not the one I use. I have two different shades, and this is not the one that I use. But it works. So now I'm going to take just the e.l.f. by itself, put a few drops on the back of my hand. And I apply it to my neck area. And then I just take that same brush and blend it down. This e.l.f. foundation is really good if you only need like medium to light coverage. So if that's all you're looking for, it's a great foundation. I need a little bit fuller coverage. Okay. So that's what we have right now. And then I go in with my concealer. So right now I'm using the CoverGirl and Olay concealer stick or concealer balm in light to medium. And I just put it right underneath my eyes where I need the most coverage. So anywhere where I would have dark circles, that's where I'm putting it. And then I'm going to take the domed version of the Sigma brush, and I just use that and help blend it out. But I kind of like stipple it in first to make sure it goes in those creases that I was talking about. And then I blend out. Again, same thing on the other side. Stipple it in, and then I blend it out. Make sure your concealer goes all the way up underneath your lower lash line, because you don't want to have it show all funny. Now I'm going to take a concealer brush, and I'm going to get into the this Coastal Scents Hot Pot concealer I got. This is number 3. This is, yeah, it's number 3. This is a, you probably can't see it. It is a peachy concealer, so it's going to help with the dark circles. So, I just get that on the brush. I apply it where I have the dark circles. Because even with that Olay one, I still can see them. So this just helps mask it a little bit more. Okay, now I'm going to take my finger and warm it up. Because this product doesn't do very well unless you warm it up. It doesn't blend anyways. But I really do like their concealers. So. Okay. So, a pretty decent amount. I'm going to move some lights away so you guys can see. A pretty decent amount of my dark circles are gone. So, that's great, right? Now I'm going to take the Coastal Scents Eclipse palette. And this is where we come into the highlighting and contouring. So, with the tapered precision-like brush, this is also from the eBay one. I don't have the Sigma one. I take 2 concealers that are lighter than me. So I take this one right here and this one down here. And I just take a little bit of both. I might just throw in some of the other ones too that are light, just so it's not too white, but not too, not real close to my skin tone. So then I start with the T-zone area. So this is where my contouring starts. And then I do the bridge of my nose. I find this is so good for contouring. And then I do little triangles below my eyes. And then I always go from the corner of my eye and out, and that's basically where my highlighter goes. Now this all goes by preference. If you don't want you to have that much highlight, then don't put it there. I like it like this. That's why I do it like this. And then I do right there on the Cupid's bow, and then some on the chin. Now I go back to my concealer brush that I used earlier, and I buff it out. And the reason I do it like this and I don't go ahead and do the contour and then fix this is because I don't want this to sit here too long. And then if I need to, I just take my finger and blend out any harsh lines. Now, like I said, I have really big pores on my cheek area, so you want to make sure that you really blend it into those pores, so you're not like all patchy. I'll actually zoom in so you guys can see it. So, if you can see like right here, it's really, really patchy because I have large pores. So I just keep blending it until it kind of goes into those pores. And then I just go back with my finger, especially under the eye area, and blend. I kind of come up here and whatever's left on the brush, I get into this very inner corner because I have a lot of darkness in there. So now I'll zoom you guys back out, and we'll go ahead on with the contour. So for the contour, I take the angled, like precision like brush. This, again, is not a Sigma brush. And I basically take the three darkest colors in this palette and I mix them together to get the contour color I need. So I just go back and forth between the three, swirling my brush in there. And then what I do is very lightly, I find the hollow, like that. Go back in, get some more. Find the hollow over here, which my hollows are already sticking out as it is. And then I just go in and do some circular motions. And some back and forth. Okay? And as you can see, this one went a little bit too far, so you just rub it away. Okay. Now we're going to do temples. So I can see where the dents are naturally in my head. You'll see like little like indents, which is where your natural contour goes, and that's where you're going to put this. And then I go along the hairline. I come down a little bit on the sides. But I stop where my highlight is. Now if you get your contour on and you feel like it's a little bit too dark, then I just simply stick it in the darkest color in this palette, which is right here. And I just use that. Okay. Once I have the color on, I go back with the flat precision like brush. Again, not a Sigma brush. And I come over here and I blend it out. I blend it with the highlight. Again, blend it with the highlight. If you look at yourself and you feel like the two temple ones are sticking out some, just go ahead and blend them in. So on camera it might look like they're sticking out a lot, but actually they're blended in really, really nicely. And then we just come over here and blend away at our contour. Because we want it to be there, we just don't want it to be super noticeable. So just back and forth motions, circle motions. Make sure anywhere that it might be touching the highlight, you blend it out. Then I just go back with my finger and make sure that any highlight is blended out. Okay, now for the nose, I just go back with a little bit of contour and glide it down the side area. I go from my brow down and then go down my nose. So again, from my brow down in this little nook, and then from there down. Okay. And then again, I just go back in and blend it out until I feel like, see, as you can see, this side, you can still see the harsh contour. On this side, you can't. Okay? So just go back and blend it out. Until you can notice that you contoured, but like you have the contour, but you don't see it. Okay? That is seriously, that's how easy it is, okay? Now, for setting powder, I either use the Rimmel Stay Matte, and this is in 03 Natural, or I use this. This is the CoverGirl Professional Loose Powder in Translucent Medium. So today I will actually use a combo of both. So just use whatever powder brush you have. Make sure you tap off any excess. First place you want to do is underneath your eyes. So make sure that's set really well. And then from there I just go down the rest of my face on that one side and then do the upper part. Okay? Do the same thing with the other side, making sure you tap off all excess shadow. I mean all excess powder. Okay. Now with the Stay Matte, I'm going to go over places that I get particularly oily. So T-zone, cheek area, other cheek area, chin, and then I just kind of put a little bit everywhere because I am naturally oily skinned. So, okay? So now's the time where I do my eyebrows. Now to do my eyebrows, and literally this is the only thing I use this palette for, because I don't particularly care for their shadows. I use the BH Cosmetics 88 Neutral Palette, and the eyebrow powder I use is actually this reddish brown color right here. So, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will come back. Okay, I have my eyebrows on. There will be a tutorial coming up shortly after this one's put up, so keep an eye out for that, just FYI. Okay, now we're going to get into the powder contour that I do. So, this is my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer, and this one is in Milk Chocolate. So I just take some of that, tap it off, and I just slightly go over where I've already put my contour. This just deepens the contour, but doesn't make it look too stark. This is easily blendable. People are probably going to be like, Roxanne, why do you contour two ways? Because I like it. I've learned that I really like it with the cream underneath it. It helps bring it out a little bit more. So, why not spend the extra few minutes and put it on? Okay? Now, the highlighting part. Sorry, I had to move stuff out of the way. Now for the highlighting part, I just take a fluffy brush. Let me grab this one. This is a Sephora Professionals shadow brush. And I take my Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer in Reserve Your Cabana. This will not give you a shimmery highlight, it will give you a glowy highlight. So I put it all the way up to my eyes, just like I did with the liquid or the concealer part. I just take this and put this over exactly where I put the other one. You don't have to, you can put it just on your cheekbones. I like it this way because it kind of It kind of conceals a little bit, brightens up the whole area to where it covers my dark circles a little bit more. So, you can contour like this, or you can contour with just this powder. This powder is amazing. I use this powder even when I don't have full coverage. When I'm just going for a natural look, I do the same thing. I use the same stuff. Okay. Use my finger. Make sure it's all good and blended out. Okay. Cupid's bow. A little bit on the chin. Blend it out nicely. I do not re-contour my nose or my temples because the cream does just fine. So now we move on to blush. So I'm just going to use this Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in Pearlescent Pink. And I'm just going to take this angled brush. This is from Coastal Scents. This was from their 15-piece brush set, I believe. So I tap off any extra because this does have shimmer in it, and I don't want the shimmer part. So I feel like when I tap it off, it comes off. So, smile. Find the apples of your cheeks. Lightly dust. I like having my camera on when I do this so I can see how much color I'm putting on my cheeks. Because I want it noticeable, but I don't want it real noticeable. See this side? And then I just do circular motions to blend it out. Okay, if you have a finishing spray, you can go ahead and spray your face. I do not have one. Why? I don't know. I need to invest in one, and I will soon. But that is it. That is my filming face. So I will zoom you guys in so you guys can see it a little bit better. So you guys can see the eyebrows and all of it in its glory. So up close, it looks like a lot. You can see all the definition. But when I'm zoomed out in normal circumstances or in normal videos, you don't really notice it. Now, you notice the highlighted areas a lot more in this one because the actual foundation I used is actually darker than what I normally use. But aside from that, it's like you don't notice it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And remember, there's no cosmetic video like loving yourself, and to always be kind. And I will see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.